Imagine a city where the federal government has the power to override local authority, and the mayor is forced to walk a thin line between cooperation and resistance. This is the reality in Washington, D.C., where Mayor Muriel Bowser is navigating a complex web of politics and power dynamics with President Donald Trump. But here's where it gets controversial. Trump's recent decision to mobilize the D.C. National Guard and deploy federal agents to combat violent crime in the nation's capital has sparked a heated debate about the limits of federal power and the rights of local governments. As Democrats slam Trump's crackdown, Bowser is under pressure to balance her commitment to reducing crime with her duty to protect the autonomy of her city. And this is the part most people miss: the fact that Washington, D.C. is not a state and does not have full autonomy, giving the federal government significant leverage over local affairs. The law, federal funding, and the threat of repealing self-government in the city all align in Trump's favor, leaving Bowser with little choice but to comply with his demands. But what does this mean for the future of Washington, D.C. and its relationship with the federal government? As one former aide noted, Bowser has a rare ability to remove emotion from political and policy calculations, which will be crucial in navigating this treacherous landscape. In a statement, Bowser said she is focused on making the most of the additional officer support, but her response has been far more measured than those of Democrats who have forcefully condemned Trump's move. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, for example, called the Trump administration's actions an unjustified power grab and accused them of consistently breaking the law and violating the Constitution. But Bowser's position is more nuanced, reflecting the complex history of cooperation and tension between the city and federal agencies. As she noted, the city and federal agencies have a long history of working together to plan and execute special events, and they share a common goal of bringing the Washington commanders back to the city. However, their relationship has also been marked by controversy, particularly during the summer of 2020 when Trump deployed federal law enforcement officers to combat protests against police violence. The use of force to break up a peaceful demonstration outside Lafayette Square was widely criticized, and Bowser accused Trump of inflaming and adding to the grievances of protesters. Now, as Trump declares an emergency in Washington, D.C., and deploys federal agents and guardsmen to the streets, Bowser is at a disadvantage. Her administration is fighting to reverse a law that froze $1 billion in city money, and she is under pressure to cooperate with Trump's crackdown. But here's the question. Is Trump's move a legitimate response to rising crime rates, or is it an authoritarian power grab? And what does this mean for the future of Washington, D.C., and its relationship with the federal government? As Justin Bibb, the mayor of Cleveland and president of the Democratic Mayors Association, noted, municipal leaders across the country are watching the situation in Washington with wary eyes. "We do not want the National Guard in our cities," he said. But Bowser's handling of the situation has been defended by some, who argue that she is doing the best she can in a difficult situation. As Bibb said, she understands and recognizes that she's in a unique position where there's no real statehood in D.C., and her autonomy can be limited, but at the end of the day, she's going to continue to do the job she's been doing on reducing violent crime, with or without the support of Donald Trump. So what do you think? Is Trump's crackdown on Washington, D.C. a necessary response to rising crime rates? Or is it an overreach of federal power? Should Bowser cooperate with Trump's administration, or should she resist his efforts to assert control over the city? Let us know in the comments.